Hey guys, Drifter here. Today we're going to be talking about XDefiant and Black Ops 6 because these two video games are going head to head to fight over the same demographic of users in the FPS market. XDefiant was recently released, very popular, and just a few days ago got an update to address some of its biggest issues. But will that be enough to stave off the growing Black Ops 6 hype train and the juggernaut that is the Call of Duty franchise? I personally don't think that there's enough FPS gamers out there to sustain both games, especially when they're both very similar and they're both aimed at the exact same demographic of players. So can XDefiant maintain its massive player base in the face of strong competition, or will Black Ops 6 ultimately take over in November? Today we're going to be taking a look at both games, but probably about 2/3 of the video is going to be from the XDefiant perspective. So let's talk about XDefiant first. In their most recent update, they added aiming penalties for players when they crouch and jump. So if you're in the air and you're crouch jump spamming, there are penalties to your recoil and aim, so that's a little bit harder to do. On top of adding crouch and jump fatigue, so you can't spam weird movements around the map. There's a little bit of a decay. Every jump is successively less high and less momentum and less useful because people were kind of abusing unintended movement mechanics and zipping around the map, and it would do weird things with hitboxes as well. Supposedly they added flinch to sniper rifles, but I'm seeing some community members disagree, or the flinch is a little bit unusual, so I don't think that application of a patch went through as they planned. And there were some minor netcode improvements too, but instead of being about hitboxes and player movement speed, most of the netcode improvements seem to be centered around Libertad's healing abilities, which for whatever reason, those abilities took up too much bandwidth from the match and would actually make the game lag. Of course, along with some general stability improvements for PC and console, so there should be less crashes. And in theory, this gets rid of a lot of the more annoying stuff in XDefiant and helps polish the game a little bit. Probably slows the game down a little bit too, but it's playing more as intended. And so far, the community seems to like that because I don't believe that the movement tech and the bunny hopping and some of the more extreme movements that were going on is what the developers really wanted. And at the end of the day, it certainly hasn't impacted the player base at all. There still seems to be plenty of people playing XDefiant. Now, Ubisoft doesn't have publicly available player data, neither for console nor for PC, because that's on Ubisoft Connect. But as far as I can tell from my little perspective over here, the player base seems to be quite substantial. It's still a very large number of players. XDefiant has developed its own Twitch streaming audience and community. It's got its own niche carved out in the YouTube algorithm that's performing very well. People are talking about it on social media. They're posting clips. The subreddit is also incredibly busy. Funny enough, the only time somebody posted my content on there was when I was making jokes about how skill-based matchmaking protected some COD players and they want it back in XDefiant. So the thing that got all the attention on the subreddit is when I joked about my wife calling me below average. So yay, I gotta watch my stupid jokes when I make videos. So XDefiant's doing really good. It's honestly fun to play. I try to get games in when I can, bad hands aside, and I'm very happy with how it's performing. However, during a very similar time window, Black Ops 6 was also announced. So for this section of the video, I'm going to show some gameplay from Black Ops 3 today, because I believe that's probably the next closest thing that we've got available to Black Ops 6 gameplay. The announcement for Black Ops 6 was a mixed bag of nostalgia and new innovations. We do have boots on the ground, old school combat. It's not sci-fi. It's set in the early 90s with classic iconic weapons and action heroes and settings and stuff like that. But at the same time, Treyarch added in a new Omni movement system and a variety of weird movement assist features that should, in theory, make the game play much faster. You can dive backwards, dive sideways. They added in a contextual or auto assist feature for corner peeking and for climbing and ducking and a whole bunch of stuff. So in theory, you should be able to sprint around the map really fast in Black Ops 6 and auto-navigate everything. And as far as I can tell, this was a huge hit with COD fans. COD fans seem to be just sort of on board with that. The trailer is now the second most viewed trailer on the Call of Duty YouTube channel. It's right behind Infinite Warfare, which unfortunately got very high views due to trolling and dislikes, and it became a meme to make it one of the most disliked YouTube videos of all time. So if you discount the Infinite Warfare meming and meme views, then this is probably the actual #1 most viewed Call of Duty trailer of all time. And there's a huge, absolutely outstanding amount of interest for this on YouTube and search results. Social media is very, very busy. Just from my little slice of social media, it seems like people are interested in coming back to Call of Duty just for Black Ops 6. Now, we have to keep in mind that this is the very beginning of a hype train of an unreleased game. And there'll be more reveals coming soon, probably something about the campaign, some story missions, early campaign. Then they'll start rolling out multiplayer teasers, a multiplayer reveal, then probably a beta in August or September. I can't remember which month it was in. And there's not been a ton of information about zombies yet. They have released some information that the zombies community seems to like. And the first teaser trailer they put out for it showed what looked to be a polished and high quality map. So as far as I can tell, the Call of Duty train has fully left the station, and it seems like it's going to be upgraded to a bullet train this year. People are really, really, really liking Black Ops 6, which is, hey, good for me. It's a COD channel, you know, it's easy views and stuff. But not to be outdone, XDefiant has decided to release details for its first season during Ubisoft Forward. And to summarize quite a lot of stuff, Season 1 is going to include tons of new cosmetics. That's how free-to-play games work. New battle pass, new skins and camos and stuff. That's all pretty normal. But they're doing one new map per month for the rest of the year, as far as I can tell. So there'll be 12 new maps by the end of the year, one a month, which kind of feels like the right pace. Adding one map per month for a game like this feels like just the right amount. They're adding, I believe it's 3 weapons per season, so several new weapons are going to be added over the course of the year. All will be completely free to unlock. They're not tied to loot boxes or passes or anything like that. They're releasing several new factions, the first of which is going to be GSK, a new game mode, Capture the Flag, which I'm excited about because I happen to have put work in on that particular mode. Yay, development skills get used. And a proper rolling out of the first ranked season, which I still hold on to my stubborn opinion and say is going to be very important to the long-term health of the game. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it has ranked specific rewards as well. So from XDefiant's perspective, this is where they're really just getting started on retaining players for years. I'm pretty sure what they want to do is copy that Rainbow Six Siege model of a game that just goes on forever and ever and ever and earns revenue for ages. And so far, the player base has responded very positively to their betas, to the release, to the first rounds of announcement, and things are looking up for XDefiant. XDefiant is in a better place than most other new shooters on the market. We'll make fun of the Finals briefly. I love that game. I think the Finals is amazing. It's struggling to find a player base. XDefiant doesn't have that problem. So I think what XDefiant wants to do is long-term capture players, because they have to maintain that audience beyond a few months of Black Ops 6 release. I think their true test is coming when Black Ops 6 fully comes out, because as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, they share the same demographic of players. They're both marketing to the same groups of people. They want that same type of gamer. And Black Ops 6 is already massively popular. We know people are going to be trying it. They're not going to not try it. So all of the XDefiant players now, even the people that haven't touched COD in a decade and went to go play XDefiant, a lot of them are going to go try out Black Ops 6. So XDefiant is going to have to just be a better game that people want to play more than Black Ops 6, and it's going to need to prevent people from returning to Call of Duty, which is a very difficult thing. I've been with the COD community for almost 20 years now, and it's almost like a meme or a sport to hate on Call of Duty. To be a COD hate channel is its own genre on YouTube, you know? And to be negative about it and swear you're never gonna play it again, and like gamers with Stockholm Syndrome, every other year, every third year, Call of Duty just drops this masterpiece of a game, some kind of banger, a new Warzone, a Modern Warfare 19, maybe a Blackout, a Black Ops 6, and it pulls people back. All those people that swore to God they were done with this franchise forever come back and play COD and have a great time. So we just have to see how this shakes out. We have to wait and see how many players actually stick with XDefiant and completely abandon Call of Duty, or if that Black Ops 6 hype train is just way too big. Alright guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.